Hey everyone, in this video I am heading out to the state of Idaho. First stop, I'm going to Utah, meet up with my son Andrew. He asked me to go along on his elk hunt up in Idaho, so I got a road trip ahead of me, and here's how it goes. Left Ohio, crossed into Indiana. Next thing you know, I was in Illinois. Crossing the Mississippi River. Iowa. Nebraska, western Nebraska. And very seldom do I drive through City, Nebraska without stopping at the Cabela store here. I didn't really need anything, but it's always a good place to stop and stretch your legs a little bit. Wyoming. I spent the night in Laramie, Wyoming, and then it was about 6 hours to my son's place. Welcome to Utah. After you get about 30 miles into Utah, right before the Interstate 80-84 split, there's a rest area here. It's got a pretty nice scenic view. You can walk up to the top of this hill, check it out. I'm going to show you that right here. Then I was about 45 minutes or so to my son's place. I got to his place, got everything unloaded from my truck, everything repacked, loaded into his truck, had supper, went to bed early because we had to hit the road very early the next morning for Idaho. We left Andrews at 3:30 a.m. and we're just making it up here into Idaho, but we still have several hours to go. By mid-morning, we was getting pretty close to where we was going to be hunting in Idaho. A lot of open grazing up here, so you have to be careful and watch for cattle. Just about made it. We're going to take this dirt road up the mountain here, and we're going to meet up with Andrew's friend Jacob and his dad. Jacob also has a bull elk tag, so be four of us. All right, well, we made it up top here. We're going to set up our main camp right here. They're going to get the rifles sighted in. We still got a couple days till season started. So, like I said, get camp set up. We're going to go out scout next couple days. Be ready for opening day. This was our first use of this tent, so there was some technical difficulties trying to get it figured out. We didn't think the one A-frame for the door fit quite right. Had a couple other things, but till it was all said and done, we got the tent erected and everything was good. Tent is all set up. Went out and gathered some firewood. We're gonna have a little campfire outside here. Need to get a stove set up for inside the tent, and I did bring a chainsaw, so I'm gonna cut some firewood for that, and should be ready for our first night out in the wilderness. Well, we got camp set up and just kind of got everything situated, and we were going to go out in Glass, and now it is snowing and visibility is not so great. I guess we're just going to hang out. So let's take a look inside the tent. We got our firewood cut up, cots are all set up, and just waiting for tomorrow. And before it gets dark here, I'll take a little walk, just see what's going on. As of this morning, I didn't even think it was supposed to snow here. So this is all a surprise. But we brought all the gear. Oh, it got cold last night. Dang. We're going to take our trucks up to where this road ends. We have a temporary tent with us. We got MREs. We're prepared to stay out here for up to 7 days. So our goal is to go out here and find some elk, and if we find them, we're going to pitch up a temporary camp, and that's where we're staying. All right, well, we made it up here. It's 13 degrees outside. Today is just a scouting day. Hunting season doesn't start till tomorrow, so we're up here scouting. We're gonna set up another camp up here and see what it brings. We started way over there. That's where we come down and around and along here. And we're going along here, but I really need my walking stick, so that's all I'm gonna give you for now.
Where is he finding a pile of elk?
Got a pretty nice view here. As you look, you can see the snow line. You look down in the valley, you can see where the snow starts or stops. We're going to set up our temporary spike camp here. We think we're pretty close to where the elk are. And once camp's set up, we're going to get situated and we're going to go out and do some scouting, aka glassing. And we found our water source for our spike camp. This is approximately 500 yards from our camp. Seen some bear and some wolf tracks. All right, we are getting our water for camp right here for campsite number 2. Found a nice drainage here. It's called Jake's Drainage. We just named it.
Jake's drinking hole.
Okay, Jake's drinking hole.
All right, well, the water got cold. Now we got Andrew tapping into Jake's watering hole here. And Jake's taking it easy.
And off in the distance, we found elk. Right down there. We found elk. We went back to camp. Right now it's about 12 hours of dark, 12 hours of daylight, so we know where we're going in the morning. Jake and Andrew went down and got in a good position while Doug and I stayed up on the hillside and glassed. And one bull elk down. All right, found it. Now we got our work cut out for us. Congratulations.
That's a good one.
Yep.
All right, we rocking sucker. Oh! Don't get downhill. Don't get in the pinch point. Oh, boy's got some weight to him. Watch out.
He's
Like,
nice.
looks better than he really is.
He's a nice elk.
Turn it a little bit so I can see a little broken. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, for the video, congratulations. Dang.
pull my YouTube video up. We're gonna learn. And we're gonna do it.
All right, so got 3 guys butchering away, and I'm here filming with the camera. But I got a knife. Maybe I'll jump in.
That's right there is the hip bone.
I might be extra tough, Ken.
King of the mountain. He's the satellite. He's the king. By ask. The biggest bull in the area.
All right, show us the heart. Got the heart out of it. We're going to have that for supper tonight.
That's right.
Yep, all righty. Get this hind quarter off and got this one about done.
Put that in a Ziploc baggie.
Then we got to go up there and yonder. And that is a butchered elk.
I still got a little.
I got it. Holy cow. There's no joke. That's north of 120 for sure. I've put some heavy packs on.
And some pictures of me with my hind quarter ready to hike on out of here. Pretty well took the entire day to get the meat out of here and up to our campsite where we hung it in a tree. It was about dark, so we went to bed early, got some rest for the next day.
There ain't a whole lot of salvaging on this thing.
All right, we are back up to the trail near camp, and we are deboning the meat, ready to take it back to the truck. And we are deboned, loading up, and got about a 3.5 mile hike ahead of us with one bull elk. All right, got the elk head on here. Andrew's getting his sack on. Being deboned, carrying less weight than yesterday. And we got old Douglas back here. He's loaded up with another hind quarter and some loose meat. Now we got what, 3.9 miles?
39 miles.
Okay, but it's all trail like that.
Time for a little breather with a view.
We've made it about a little over 2 miles from camp as a crow flies, and we're not crows, so we've been seesawing up and down. The boys went ahead of us because they can travel a lot faster, and they're gonna get the first load of meat back to the trucks, and then they're gonna take ours. We're gonna head back to camp and decide if we're staying there again tonight or gonna try to get back to the truck with the camp weight. We will see. Still got about 5 hours of daylight.
Doug and I got back to within a mile of the truck. The boys come back, but we also met this group here on dirt bikes. They shot an elk somewhere back in the vicinity where we were spike camping. Yesterday, they got it all quartered up, hung in a tree. They went back to their camp, and then they got their dirt bikes. They're coming back in today, and they're going to pack their elk out via dirt bike.
You're a heck of a rider.
Wow, you didn't see me. I'm up there, me too.
I'm impressed.
Hey, worst part's over. It's all easy now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it won't be bad.
As I say, it wasn't that snow covered. It's melting off pretty
Yeah.
good. So
I don't know, we might try to.
All right, we got the meat back to the truck. We hiked back to camp. We got our spike camp all tore down, packed up. Everyone's getting their last bit of water. And what do we got? 3.5 miles roughly back to the truck. And we're headed that way, but up and down and around. Oh yeah, and the reason we are packing out of here is they're calling for 14 inches of snow. So instead of hunting here and getting trapped in a snowstorm, we're gonna get out of here, go back to the truck to the main camp and see what happens. But we should be able to hunt tomorrow morning somewhere over that way. Where that way is, I'm not saying. All right, guys, packs are on. Camp's tore down, cleaned up. You know what they say, take only memories, leave only footprints. Everyone's getting our packs on. And we got another 3.5 mile. I think I already said that. Back to the how much?
30 and a half.
30.5 miles. Back to the trucks. Gonna sleep in the big tent tonight. Hopefully have a decent supper. And that's the plan. All right. These two, the boys are gonna be very heavy. They still got a rifle, someone's got a stove in there, has a tent. Us dads, we got some weight, but not like that.
And a quick father-son picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got all the meat back to the truck, got our temporary camp packed up back here. Now we're going to jump in the truck, so we're going to drive down to our main camp.
And tonight, back at deer camp, we are going to have elk heart.
Fresh off the mountain. Locally grown, born and raised. Free range.
Let's have a look around the camp. It's raining outside. We're just hanging out.
Yeah, we're gonna need this.
We also have a tenderloin on the Blackstone as well. Olive oil, some salt and pepper. Should turn out great.
All right, we had another windy night, but we was in the big tent, but we got camp all picked up. We're gonna move locations here, and it took about an hour and a half to get everything packed up in 2 trucks, so here we go. The gang is all ready.
We moved locations, we set up a new camp, and we are looking for elk. So we hiked into this location in the dark, and we had quite a climb. The boys went ahead of us, and we're looking for elk, and Doug and I stayed back, and we glassed here as soon as it got light.
All right, we made it up this far. As you can see, that's quite a view. Quite a climb. And our boys are still clear up there. They got up there a lot quicker than I'm gonna get up there. Anyhow, looking for elk.
Doug and I spent most of the day on this side of the mountain, and we did spot a few mule deer, no elk. We did communicate with the boys. They did find a herd of elk over on the other side. They did take a 2-man tent with them, and I think they're going to camp the night up here. We're going to come back in the morning and meet them. Andrew sent me a picture of the tent they spent the night in. It was just too much of a hike up here for them to hike back to the main camp, so they just decided to stay up here since they were on to some elk. And as you're going to see, it paid off.
All right, Doug and I are hiking up here to find Andrew and Jake. Andrew got a bull, and we had to get to the top, and we are at the top. Check this out. Camera probably does not do justice, but see those green and yellow and orange trees way down there? That's where the pickup is. And we have to go, I'm not sure where. I think up over that ridge yet. We got our work cut out for us. And after the big climb, found a road through the woods here. literally a cow path, and there is a water trough up here for the open range cattle.
The boys told us to get to the top of the ridge, follow the ridge. There's an old logging road. Follow that to the cow water trough, and then we should be able to walk right to their tent.
Walking up on my first bull. Day 7 of the hunt, 7 of 8. Finally got it done. We went 2 for 2 on this hunt. Me and this man right there. Couldn't have done it without him.
Big animal.
He's a big boy.
That's a world record spike. Boone and crocked it for sure.
Oh boy.
Did it. We might not get it out of here, but we did it. It's gonna break us.
Doug and I hiked the old abandoned logging road till we did find the boys. Now, there is no vehicle access up here. Where Andrew shot this is approximately 4 miles from the truck as a crow flies, and we're not crows. And thanks to them for taking this video and these pictures so I could include them in the video. Congratulations, Andrew, on your first bull elk. They started the quartering process before we got here. What a backstrap.
Andrew and Jake were over there. Bumped some elk down into here. Shot it up there, and it rolled down and landed right on this old logging road that is no longer in service.
Our goal right now is to get this thing quartered up, packed up, and back to the truck before it gets dark. But we got quite a hike ahead of us. And we still got some butchering to do.
That sounded easy, but we're 4 miles in too, and it's a rough 4 miles. So yeah, the work is just beginning. Packing out. 4 miles to go.
Let's one trip it off the mountain, baby. Camp and bowl.
That's how you rough it and kill a bull. And the truck is all the way down there.
Got Jake up here carrying 120. Got probably 120 on my back. We got front and rear and camp. And we got our dads back there with all their gear and a head and some loose meat.
All right, guys, we made it back to their spike camp. We got a whole bull elk. Jake up front has a hind quarter, front quarter. Andrew has a hind quarter, front corner. I have all the loose meat in my pack. Doug has the head and has camp and a rifle. So, what do we got, guys? 1.5 miles.
Mile and a half.
But it's very steep. Very steep. We got a road here for a little bit, and then it's gonna get sketchy. And I probably won't be videoing that. But I'm sure tomorrow we'll be happy we did this. All right, we made it back to the water trough. What do we think? We gone 1/2 mile since the last time?
Probably.
So we got a hard mile of down a freaking slope. Anyways, we're gonna get some water out of the trough here and rehydrate again, and hopefully it stays daylight long enough. We made it to the top, and it is time to get some pictures.
I hope I don't smell as bad as you do.
All right,
It smelled pretty bad.
bye
We all do.
mountains. You've been challenging. but it's all downhill from here and it's steep, but we're gonna do it. We still got daylight.
We won this time.
All right, 2 elk. Not a bad deal. We're packing a whole bull out. I think I said that earlier, but we're packing a whole bull out in one trip because we're not climbing that hill again.
And we did take a quick picture of the crew before we departed the mountain.
Getting closer all the time to the truck. Bet you we're within a half a mile now. This has been a downhill, but it's been tough. Oh, can you see the top up there? Oh my God, I'm exhausted. All right, let's go drop over this other edge. It is pretty though.
We did get back to our camp. It was dark, but we did get all the meat laid out, and we got the head skinned out the next day and packed up, and everybody went their separate ways. I rode back to Utah with Andrew, and once I was there, I spent the night at his house, and it was good to get a shower after 8 days without one, and then got everything loaded in my truck, and I am now making my journey back to Ohio. And as you can see, there's some snow on the ground here. When I got into western Wyoming, they have actually got quite a bit of snow since I was through here, 11, 12 days ago. But had good weather the whole way home. Trip went really good, and next thing you know, I was back in Ohio. Well, I made it back to Ohio. Just to recap a little bit, 72 hours ago, we were coming down the mountain with the second elk, packed up. We camped out there that night, and then drove down to Andrew's house, unloaded the stuff out of his truck into my truck, and then yesterday I left Utah, made it to York, Nebraska last night, left York, Nebraska this morning around 5 a.m., and here it is, 6:30. I am back in Ohio. What a trip. I mean, wow, what a trip. I didn't hunt, but just being there, the experience, it was just like, I can't even explain it. It was just great. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I didn't get all the footage I wanted to during the hunt, but did get to see a lot of nice country. Both the boys did get an elk, and man, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have stories to talk about forever on this trip. So anyways, I got Jake's bull with me here that he shot. I got it in the coolers here in the truck, and I got the antlers here, so we're going to get stuff situated here, get the meat over to him, and for hauling it back, I just hope I get a couple cuts out of the back strap or something, which I think we can work out. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Feel free to go down there, hit that like button, leave a comment. If you're new to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me along on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Farmhand Mike. As always, thank you for watching and supporting my social media.